Many thanks to Alice for helping me out with the script for this video at 5 AM. Gear in Memento Mori. Arguably, it's one of the most important aspects in this game you need to focus on in order to get stronger. In the beginner's guide video, I briefly mentioned how to obtain UR and LR gear, but did not go into more detail, as it is not something an early game player would need to know yet. However, I will be going into much more depth about not just these gears, but also provide an in-depth guide as to what one should aim for when building their characters. Note, this guide assumes that you already have a level 240 or above DPS. First of all, the gear itself. Actually, usable gear in this game is obtained via pulling in the gear gacha banners you unlock after clearing main quest stage 1322. This introduces gear starting from level 180 and ranging in rarity from R to SSR, as well as UR and LR. How do you obtain UR and LR gear? To obtain UR gear, you need to have 4 relics, 2 cups and 2 medals, or 2 wings and 2 fruits to be able to purchase 100 shards to craft 1 piece of UR gear. The relic banner you need to pull on to get these relics costs 300 diamonds a pull, and gives you the chance to obtain the relic at 10 pulls, 25 pulls, and 50 pulls respectively, with each individual chances to give you the relic being 20%, 40%, and 100%. However, the banner does provide 1 free pull every day, adding up to 7 every week. As such, it is recommended that you do 3 paid pulls each week to hit the 10 pull mark and have a 20% chance of obtaining a relic. Oh my god, my RNG is actual dog shit. Tip. You are able to change the relic you want to obtain for free once every week. However, take note that changing this relic you are pulling for will also reset the counter towards the invoke milestones. So make sure to change the relic you want before pulling. Note, obtaining the UR weapon is different from the gear. You will need a level 240 unique weapon, as well as 15 dues to upgrade its rarity from SSR to UR. To obtain LR gear, you will need to have a piece of UR gear already equipped on a character that is LR5 or above. Non-LR5 characters will not be able to use LR gear. The cost of upgrading gear from UR to LR is 50 dues. The methods for upgrading weapons and other pieces of gear from UR to LR is the same. Now, here is a quick overview of all of the gear rarities at levels 240 and above. R gear. It is nothing special, but it is extremely cheap. It is worth putting on supports earlier on in the game. Note that you should only pull on the R banner with the 250,000 gold pull every day. Do not spend diamonds on it. SR gear. It is extremely versatile for its cost, and 4 SR is the best gear for supports. SSR gear. This is the standard gear for your DPS. UR and LR gear. These gears are the strongest gears in the game. Your DPS should have at least 2 times UR or LR gear at the very minimum, depending on their rarity. Building your DPS. The gear sets in which you should be using for your DPS is at the very minimum 2 pieces of level 200 SSR gear, 2 pieces of level 220 SSR gear, alongside 2 pieces of UR or LR gear. However, it is much better if you are able to afford 4 pieces of level 240 and above SSR gear, as well as 2 pieces of UR and LR gear. It is also possible to gear your entire character solely with UR and LR gear. Runes. You should only be purchasing PM Defense Break as well as Speed runes from the rune shop. Your DPS should always have sufficient amounts of PM Defense Break runes, as PM Defense Break is the best rune in the game that provides a lot of damage, it is also needed for essentially all content in the game. You will also need speed for speed tuning in PvE as well as PvP. Other runes that you can place on your DPS includes their main stat runes, attack runes, accuracy runes, and crit runes. Augments. For dark augments, you should fully max out your chestplate before moving on to the weapon, then boots and gloves, followed by the helmet and chestplate, before finally moving on to the accessory. For holy augments, the augments on the weapon and glove should be at a rough 2:1 ratio, and you should also have at least level 10 holy augments on the boots. Take note that this route for holy augments, while good, is not the most optimal path for upgrading. That requires you to take into considerations the gear, passive, arcanas, and UW effects you have. An in-depth guide for augments will be made in the future. Gear for supports. Earlier on in the game, a full set of 240 R gear will be plenty. However, in the late game when auto attacks from the enemy can one-shot you, it is highly recommended to use a set of 4 240 plus SR gears on your supports. Final tips. A piece of plus 300 upgraded SSR gear is comparable to a plus 240 upgraded LR gear. So make sure you prioritize upgrading your LR gear instead of making more UR pieces. If you have 2 UR gear on an LR plus 5 character but not enough dues to upgrade both pieces to LR, it is alright and you can just upgrade the weapon. Generally, it is worth upgrading the weapon until you have enough to upgrade the other piece as well, as it is worth to sacrifice the set bonus in order for the LR UW effect and the extra attack. Also use SDPC, is better than 6-pin. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below or join the Memento Mori English community Discord. Thanks for watching.